Hello everyone, I'm Chris Kapches, President of Chestnut Park Real Estate, and today I'm going to give you your August market report. And apropos, one of the themes that I will be discussing in the market report is how the various markets are performing, the City of Toronto and the 905 region. And today I'm actually presenting this market report to you from our Uxbridge office, which is celebrating its opening today, September the 9th. So as I said, very apropos. But getting to the market, it was the fifth consecutive month in which we've seen sales dropping from those stratospheric levels that we saw in March of 2021. And all of that was to be expected, and in previous market reports I've predicted how the market was going to unfold. And the same thing happened in August. Sales were off compared to July, and certainly off compared to earlier months. But it must be remembered that the overall results for the month of August were the third best August in the history of record keeping. So we have to remember that notwithstanding the continual decline of the market, it's actually still extremely robust. In fact, one of the problems that we have is supply, and that's one of the other themes that I'll be discussing in this market report. But just to give you the broad numbers to start, sales were down 19% compared to last year, and overall the listings were down, another theme that's going to manifest itself. Average sale price, of course, was up to $1,070,000. Literally record-breaking numbers, substantially higher than last year, over 12%. The themes, though, that are emerging in the month of August, and they actually have been emerging for a number of months now, are kind of fourfold. The first theme that we see emerging is supply, and I can't overemphasize the problem that we're having with supply. Historically, I would say our supply problem was chronic. I think at the end of August, the supply problem has become critical. The number of properties available for sale at the end of August were down to 8,201. That is literally the lowest number of listings that have been available to buyers in a decade. Doesn't bode well for buyers, their choice, their ability to find properties, and certainly their ability to find properties at an affordable level. And in some districts, the number of available properties is beyond chronic. It's eye-poppingly low. Semi-detached properties, almost non-existent throughout the entire region. That is a problem, and it's not a problem that's easily overcomable. We do have, of course, an election going on as I speak, and in my opinion, that's the word that should be on all of the politicians' lips. That is supply, and how do we create it? How do we provide it? Because that's what we're going to need. With all the immigration coming into the GTA, where we are right now doing this presentation, we need supply to satisfy the demand of all the new households that are being created, and that just isn't happening. And that supply will be one of the themes that will continue through 2021 and into 2022. The second theme is, as I mentioned a moment ago, the difference between how the City of Toronto is performing and how the 905 is performing. 905 is clearly outdistancing the City of Toronto. A year ago, 2 years ago, the City of Toronto was doing the opposite, outdistancing sales in the 905. That's no longer the case. And not only are sales dramatic in the 905, but average sale prices are increasing more rapidly in the 905 compared to the City of Toronto. That's also a theme that we'll see continuing through the remainder of 2021 and into 2022. Reason, of course, for that disparity is properties in the City of Toronto are, except for condominium apartments, substantially more expensive than they are in the 905. The supply is a little bit more in the 905. again, except for condominium apartments, than in the city of Toronto. And of course, the pandemic has intensified, coupled of course with the ability to work remotely, to move out into secondary markets and into suburban markets. And as a result of that, we're seeing much more activity and prices rising faster in the 905. The third theme that is unfolding is, I think prices are now starting to reach limits, and that's due to a couple of factors. One is interest rates have stabilized. They're certainly not going down, and household incomes are rising approximately 3% a year. Based on those two factors, we have reached affordability limits, probably more so in the city of Toronto than in the 905. But having said that, if we look at what's been happening since the beginning of January, we see that we've now stabilized as an average sale price around $1,070,000. Still dramatically high, but we've stabilized at that number. And I believe, again, that theme will carry forward through the remainder of 2021 and into 2022, and perhaps even beyond that, because I don't see interest rates coming down. And of course, average incomes and household incomes are not going to be increasing much more than 3%. The fourth theme that's going to play out as we make our way through the remainder of 2021 and then into 2022 is condominium apartment sales. They took a tremendous beating at the beginning of the pandemic. People were looking for more space. They wanted to be in locations that weren't as dense as high-rise apartments, sharing elevators. They seem to have gotten around that. The consumer has come back. Condominium apartment sales have dramatically improved in the last 3 or 4 months. The prices now are at pre-pandemic levels and continuing to rise, and similarly with the number of sales. Given the fact that there are so few listings on the market as we hit September, condominium apartment sales are going to play a key role in that, because that is where the bulk of the listings are currently available. So those 4 themes are going to be the themes for the remainder of this year. I'll probably be talking about that again when I give you the September report. But to repeat them, those 4 themes are supply, chronic. We have, of course, the disparity between the 905 and the 416 in terms of rising prices. We have condominium apartment sales, which have robustly come back. Excuse me. And of course, the final theme that will play its way out is the stabilization of average sale prices. So I really look forward to presenting the September report, because I think it will solidify those 4 themes, and I think it'll solidify them through the remainder of the year and then right into 2022. Thank you very much.